trade, moving on the interesting topics like a trade, how do you see the trade relationship between the two countries?
I think often when we talk about trade, we think of goods trade. I think it's very important that we also think of goods and services trade, because services is about 30% of New Zealand's exports, and it's probably similar for Indonesia. So, for example, one of Indonesia's biggest exports to New Zealand actually is tourism. So 120,000 people coming to Indonesia is quite a big export. So if you put goods and services together, it's roughly $2 billion in bilateral trade. And it's roughly balanced. So Indonesia exports to New Zealand about the same as what you import from New Zealand. So that's a good thing. It makes the trading relationship easier. But as you say, Indonesia's been a very important market for us, particularly in food and beverage. We pride ourselves on having the world's best food and beverage. New Zealand is perhaps unique in developed countries in that we rely on agriculture as our number one export earner. And so to be number one, we have to be the best. So being the best means that Indonesians have a strong demand for New Zealand food and beverage in particular. But we also sell advanced manufacturing products here. And a lot of our technology industry is interested in expanding into Indonesia too.
What kind of manufacturing and technology?
So New Zealand's not often thought of as a country that does specialised manufacturing. But for example, some of the big air conditioning systems in the big shopping malls here are designed and built in New Zealand. We've done airport baggage handling systems, you know, that little conveyor that takes your bags out. Often those are made by New Zealand companies as well. So those are examples of some of the specialised manufacturing products.
How do you see Indonesia as a market for the New Zealand products?
Well, I think everybody realises that Indonesia is a huge market. 265, 270 million people is just, you know, it's a massive opportunity. The challenge in Indonesia, as your viewers will well understand, is often around market access. So it's difficult sometimes to get products into the Indonesian market, but once you're in the market, it's just a huge opportunity. And so that's why it's been our 12th largest trading partner.
Indonesia and New Zealand, they have a trade targets on 2020, 2.65 billion US dollars is supposed to be 4 billion New Zealand dollars, right? How is the strategy to achieve the targets in 2024?
Politicians always love setting bureaucrats like us targets. But at the end of the day, I guess it's going to be business that decides on whether that target is met. As I said earlier, there is a lot of opportunity for New Zealand exporters in Indonesia. And there's also opportunities for Indonesian exporters in New Zealand. And I think the recent Pacific Expo that Indonesia organised in Auckland was an opportunity for some of those Indonesian companies to see the opportunities that exist in New Zealand and the Pacific market as well. So, you know, we're confident that we can achieve some strong growth in our trade figures. Whether we can meet the target set by politicians or not, we'll have to see.
This is a quite big target, 2.65 billion.
It's a lot of growth, yes. But again, you know, as Indonesia looks to deregulate and make its economy easier for investment, I think we all heard the President speak on Friday about his strong desire to make Indonesia an easier country in which to do business. I think that will lead to some strong growth in trade. New Zealand is number one in the world for ease of doing business.
Yes.
So that's something which we think we can share with Indonesia and help Indonesia to move up those global rankings.